The circlips, and I don't know if you can see them, have been installed. And what I like to do is, if you can look very closely, you can see the clip. It looks like a letter C. What I like to do is put it as far away from the opening to have your rounded part in the opening and your exposed part away from it. But on the other hand, since I know that this little wrist pin is going to be moving all around and back and forth, what I also like to stagger is I'll take my little C clamp right here, little C clip, and I'll stagger it one direction, and then I'll stagger on the other side the other direction, so I get a lot of clip on. There's no weak point in the clip on this side and this side. So when you put the clips in, make sure they're staggered away from the opening, which is right there, and staggered away from themselves. Now I'm going to have to recheck let's see if I can do this one-handed. I have to figure out what I'm going to do, keep my camera focused for the audience, and then get the new dealie on here. And what I've done is I've taken the crankcase right here, and we're going to put it in the crankcase. We're just going to set it in there like that. I'll put this over here in the light. I'd like to say hello to my my good mate Elliot in the UK, London. Good work on your videos, mate. And cheers. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm trying. And I think a jet airplane would be really cool. They sell them over here, but I like our real jet airplanes. An F-14 Tomcat. I've seen one of them fly one time, about 100 feet over my head. 50,000 horsepower, shook the ground, scared the living hell out of me. I was so proud. I love jet airplanes. I mean warplanes. So this is a shout out to Elliot, my new friend in London. Now this piston here is going to go down in the slot, in the hole right here. And what I will do is I will pick this up with two hands, and I will place it like this. And I'll take my fingers, and when I'm sure that the rings are staggered where I want them, I'll compress the rings and use a little bit of oil and put them down into the cylinder right there. That's the next step. But you want to make sure before you put your cases together that all of these areas right here, these are sealing areas for the oil. This is an oil gallery right in here. Except this is where your generator, alternator, starter goes. You want to make sure that all these areas are really, really clean, because we're going to use a moto seal. You can either use two things I found that are really, really excellent. Either moto seal. This was designed for motocross engines, which are, if you're a motocross racer, a lot of times they'll tear the engine down every race. I mean, if you're serious. So they need something that they can seal the engine with, but they can take it apart easy. So they use moto seal. The other thing is this copper spray gasket. This stuff comes out and it looks just like this, silver. It's really, really sticky, and it's got little tiny bits of copper in it. This is the best high temperature sealant that I have ever seen in my life. It's copper spray gasket by Permatex, and this is really great for rubber seals, because when you spray it on the rubber seals and you stick those rubber seals down, they stay. You know, like an O-ring. An O-ring, it likes to climb up, and you can't get it to seat right. Well, this stuff it's like a magnet. It just sticks your O-rings right where they got to be. So the next step will be, and I'll have to do it off camera, but I will place this in the cylinder. Then what I will do after I do that, well, first I'll clean these areas right here. Then there are two Half Moon stainless steel holders that go on the outer bearings right here. You want to make sure you have all your dowels. Okay, this is what I meant about. I took these apart two months ago, and it says crankcase right there. Not very good. But these, I know that these are all the crankcase bolts. These are all the bolts that came out of this. So I don't have to wonder and guess and this and that. And also, I have a dowling right here. See that dowel? Now with the dowling, they're used to stabilize the case, to hold them together. But the dowlings are not. You think they're pressed in? They're not. Okay, they're just put in, and they can fall out. So there's a dowling here, and I believe there's one here, and there's another one somewhere. But I want to make sure I get that back in. Okay.